What's up, guys? I wanted to talk to you guys about an important topic today: avoiding authoritarian martial arts schools. So briefly, I'll summarize my main points and then I'll expand on them later on in the video. So number one, your instructor does not have the answers to life just because they are skilled at submitting and strangling a human being. Number two, you're an adult. Your instructor should have no control over what you do outside of their school. And number three, you shouldn't be loyal to people that merely use the term loyalty as a means of controlling you and having you do what they want, okay? So let's expand on this a little bit. Number one, I have been training martial arts for about 11 years now, okay? I've learned a lot through doing it. I think it has given me great perspectives on life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm in a position to advise you on certain things or, tell you how to do things a certain way. You can obviously consider my opinion, but don't take it as fact, and make your own decisions, okay? Because I know plenty of martial artists that they have 10 plus years of experience training martial arts, and their personal life is just a complete disaster, and they're not in a position to give advice to anybody, okay? So while training martial arts definitely will give you important perspectives on life and will give you good life experience, that alone is not sufficient to put you in a position to tell someone what they should do with the entirety of their life. So take anything that your instructor says outside the realm of martial arts with a grain of salt, okay? Number two, you're an adult. Your instructor should have no control over what you do outside of the school. And to me, this includes things like cross-training because, if you're paying someone a membership at their school, you show up, and when you're in the school, you respect the rules that the instructor has at the school because you sign an agreement with that person to where, okay, you're going to train me, and I promise to be a good student while I'm in here and follow the rules. But when I'm outside of the school, I should be able to do what I want in terms of where I should train. Why should I be restricted from training from certain places, You can certainly make the argument that, an instructor could say like, well, we have an animus with this school for this reason. This is what this instructor has done in the past, and I don't think they're a good person, right? As an instructor, those are definitely things you can communicate to your student, right? But ultimately, it's the student's decision where they end up going. And if the student has trust in you and, you've shown to be a good instructor to them, then they're probably going to take you at your word, and they're not going to go to another school because, your instructor may just be warning you like, hey, listen, those guys go really hard against people that visit. They have something to prove, and I don't want you to go there to get hurt, That's definitely a good reason why you shouldn't cross-train in a specific school. I'm talking about cross-training in general, banning it outright. That, to me, doesn't make sense, and it's just a controlling move. And there's other things, too, like demanding favors because you're a student, for instance. I've heard stories about like, black belt instructors going out to there and being like, hey, who's gonna get my bill? Who's got the black belt's bill? And it's like, come on, dude, that's ridiculous. Pay for your own stuff. All your students that you're going out with, they pay you money already. So, this is just the kind of ridiculous stuff you don't want to be a part of. Okay. Number three, and I think this one's really important because the term loyalty gets misconstrued. I view loyalty as a two-way street between people, okay? If I'm loyal to someone, it's because I believe that person has good principles and because they've shown that they care about me and they consider my interests, when we're interacting. And so therefore I'm going to do the same to them. If they need a favor, if they need help with something, of course I'm going to be there for them, right? But primarily you want to be loyal to principles over people. And that means the people you should be loyal to are principled people, okay? People that you notice are willing to subvert their own self-interest for what they think is the right thing to do, okay? Those are definitely the people that I think you should be loyal to. But loyalty is not something you can merely demand out of people, especially if it's completely self-serving and you just use it as a means of being like, hey, do this for me, or like, hey, don't do that, you know, as a means of controlling people. So you gotta be careful, because a lot of people in, you know, the martial arts community, they'll use loyalty to mean like, you know, you have to follow what your instructor says no matter what, and that's just silly. You know, if your instructor is a principled person, and you can see that they've done a lot for you, you know, and you know, they need a favor, you know, every once in a while, and you decide of your own free will, like, okay, I'm gonna help this person out, right? That's totally cool. That's totally different. But you know, loyalty should not be used as a coercive means of getting somebody to do something for you, especially if it's a regular thing, and especially if you're not giving them anything in return, right? So just be aware, guys. You know, there's lots of jiu-jitsu schools out there now. Every city has several. You know, you don't need to settle on the first one that you see. If you feel like the environment is negative, if you feel like it's very authoritarian, and you know, the person up top has, you know, they just try to control everything that's happening, you know, around them and outside the school, go and find another school. Okay, go and find another chill school that's not going to do that, right? You're a human being. You have your own free will. You can choose to train wherever you want to train. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you disagreed or you want to expand on something that I said, please leave a comment. Also, if you like the content that I provide, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the notification bell so that you guys get notified when we have new videos. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day.